Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. Welcome to today's episode of Harry Getting Fucked. I'm your demonetized host, Louis Rossman. Today we're going to be following up on a series that I was going over last year, where in Denver, Colorado, they were installing flock cameras without the consent of the people or the city council. So the way it works in Denver, Colorado is if you have a contract and you want to sign it, if you're the mayor, you have to go to the city council if it's over $500,000 a year. This contract was $666,000 a year, which is very strange number, but whatever. They had a $666,000 contract, and the city council voted 12-0 on this, as I wrote in this article for the wiki. Now, what they did to try and get this pushed through anyway, because the city council voted no, is they renegotiated a $498,500 contract, which is $1,500, less than 0.5%, under the limit by which you need to go to city council for approval. Pretty fucked up. And the mayor never got in trouble for it. I also hear that his wife is deputy district attorney or something, so if she's putting him in handcuffs, it's not going to be for his crimes. Anyway, if we go back to this... Anyway, the cameras got turned off this year, and I just wanted to do a little comparison of the crime stats. So last year, if you take a look, it looks like we had 430 stolen vehicles in April of 2025, and it looks like this year we have somewhere between 301 to 313 stolen vehicles. So that went down over 25%. There's 25% less stolen cars this year than last year, and we were sold that we need these cameras to stop auto thefts. Yeah, I don't think that that's very true. I think that there are other ways to stop auto thefts. And one of them that seems to have been working year over year very well is making sure that auto theft remains illegal. You take a look at Senate Bill 23-097. This bill makes it so that the price of the car you're stealing has less to do with the punishment that you get. So before, if you stole a $2,000 1985 Toyota Corolla shitbox that's falling apart, you got charged differently than you did if you stole a $200,000 Porsche. Now, it's just, you stole a car, bro, you going to jail. And that's a much different way to prosecute crime. And since they have that, it seems like the auto thefts have been going down, regardless of whether there's cameras. Another thing to take into consideration is that Hyundai and Kia made up about 25% of all vehicle thefts in the state of Colorado in 2022. National Highway Safety and Transit Administration had announced something coming out that would have made this more difficult. So there is a software update, it looks like, and also a sticker that they were telling people to put in their cars, letting them know that this car, the software update, that would make it more difficult to steal. So for those of you who are not very mechanically inclined, admittedly, I'm not either, there are cars that have something called an immobilizer in them, so it has to be near the key in order for you to actually turn it on. This is not like the 80s and the 90s movies anymore where the criminal breaks into the car, he jimmies it open, and then he's like cutting it open and making the red R wire touch the orange wire to start the car. That shit doesn't work anymore. However, Hyundai and Kia had a really bad immobilizer implementation, which made it much more easy to steal their cars. And after it became more difficult to steal their cars because of the software update, the car thefts went down. That also just so happens to overlap this bill getting pushed into place that punishes somebody the same way if they're stealing a $200,000 car as they would if they were stealing a $2,000 car. So there are a number of reasons that the crime with regards to car thefts went down. This is from the Gazette. You could see in January, February, and March from 2022, 2023, and 2024. This was well on its way down, and it is continuing to go down without flock. So please don't let them trick you into the idea that if you want auto thefts to go down, that you need flock cameras. They were going down before flock cameras. They are going down after flock cameras. You do not need flock cameras to reduce auto theft. Rather, in my opinion, you need cars with working immobilizers and laws that allow the police and the district attorney to be able to arrest, prosecute, and imprison the people that steal cars. I'm not going to say correlation means causation. I wouldn't say that getting rid of the cameras decreased or increased theft. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to say is that you have less thefts now and you don't have the cameras up. And when you're talking about a piece of equipment that essentially nullifies and removes the Fourth Amendment by acting as a dragnet, as the Supreme Court has said in prior cases, there really needs to be a very high bar for the use of that technology. And you paying for your own surveillance everywhere. These cameras have allowed city employees to stalk their ex-girlfriends. These cameras are responsible for people that have never even committed a crime getting stopped in the state of Colorado over and over and over again because the stupid clanker mistakes them with somebody else and the system is fucked up. So even after the police says, oh yeah, you don't have a warrant on you, the guy still keeps getting pulled over and over and over and over again. You really have to have a very high standard for introducing this technology into a community, and I think the results here are demonstrating that that high standard has not been met, and the millions and millions of dollars that you're using to make the CEO of this company rich could be better spent on anything else in the community. Spend money on education, spend money on health, spend money on tax cuts, whatever the fuck it is you want to do. It's your money. Whether you want to give it back to the people or invest it in other programs, that's not my business. All I ask, the only part that I will try to make my business, just a little bit, is don't give that money to a company that is creating the surveillance network that's going to watch you everywhere you go. Use it on your community. Reduce property tax, whatever the fuck it is you want to do. I'm not going to say how you spend the money. Just spend it on something but this. Just my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. What do you think of auto thefts going down when you don't have flock cameras up? Lastly, before I end the video, this is a little unrelated, but I'm going to be auctioning off some of my old camera equipment to try and fund some new things that I'm doing. BlackBerry, please, that's not how we fund things that we're doing. OnlyFans does technically have a higher profit than SpaceX, so maybe we should be doing that, but I wonder if OnlyFans could IPO at like $2 trillion. One of the things that I want to do is I'm going to be auctioning off some of my old camera gear to pay for some of this extra crap that I've been buying recently for doing tours of these city hall protests and city hall and town council meetings where they're protesting the installation of AI data centers. I'm also fixing my P-Track 8525 particle counter, which broke. I want to fix this thing that I've used to measure my clean room. I've used it to measure restaurants. I've used it to measure a choo-choo train in Chattanooga, Tennessee. After trying to use it to measure the output of a coal-powered train, it died, so I'm getting it fixed and recalibrated. What I wanted to do is twofold. First, I wanted to drive up to some of these towns where they've installed these AI data centers and actually see, as I get closer to it, does the air quality get worse? Because you hear about this on the news all the time, but I've never seen somebody take an actual calibrated instrument and say, here's what it's like 10 miles away. Here's what it's like 5 miles away. Here's what it's like 1 mile away, and actually measure the air with an instrument that's calibrated. I thought that would be a really fun thing to do for curiosity. And the next thing I'm doing is I want to actually live stream and record the city council and town hall meetings where people are showing up to say, I don't want this, so that you can see for yourself when the entire town shows up and says, we don't want this here, and the city council says, we're doing it anyway. I thought it would be interesting because I see clips of this in the news, but I never see the entire thing covered, and it's really fun to see the entire thing covered. These are the type of events that just were not being broadcast by the news the way that they needed to be, like this one in Denver.
My name's John McKinney. I am president of the East Colfax Neighborhood Association.
My name is Tim Hoffman. I'm in the mayor's office. I serve as his director of policy.
I need to deliver one clear message to the mayor. Please share this with him. On behalf of the citizens of East Colfax, and we're going to say this in a really East Colfax kind of way. Quit doing this behind closed doors and come out and debate this in the public forum, you fucking pussy.
Being there to record that, shout out to Marshall for being an awesome cameraman. Being there to record and live stream that, and it was great. And we're going to be doing more of that into the future. I am going to be walking into City Hall and City Council Town Hall meetings with this, so we're going to see how that goes. This is a Peplink Transit Duo Pro dual SIM card router, so I'm also paying for, I got 2 data plans here. I got one for Verizon, one for T-Mobile, and this is a pouch that you put on your waist with the router so that my camera will be able to live stream without having to deal with, oh, my phone overheated or this SIM card's not working. Like, none of that. This thing never overheats. The battery is separate from the router. It's got 2 of them. I'm paying for some Speed Fusion VPN thing, so even if one goes down, there's this bonding, tunneling thing so they both work. All this shit costs money. So I'm still gonna do all this shit even if I don't sell my old gear. But I'm auctioning off my old gear just because I'm spending a bunch of money on all this extra shit. So this is my original camcorder that I bought almost, I think, 13 years ago when I first started taking YouTube seriously. The first video that I made on this camcorder was follow your heart, fuck everyone else's advice. I was getting made fun of at the time for having a channel that had a few hundred subscribers and spending $6,000 on all this video equipment. I bought that included a microscope, a new microscope camera at the time. People were saying, like, how good are you at board repair? I'm like, I don't really know, but I'm going to show people. And it's like, and really? I had so many people laughing at me when I started this channel. And this is the first video that I did. And here's where I am 13 years later. This is the camera that I used at my office. It is so old that the charger on this camera literally has a switch. There's a battery adapter so you could plug it into the wall and never have to worry about charging the battery. It has a button called VCR/camera TV or something. It literally says VCR on it. That's how old this fucking camera is. But I've used it for every video you see me do at my store was done on this, whether it's the Austin store or either of the 2 New York stores. And then there's my home camera that I'm going to be auctioning off as well. This is a Sony a5100 camera, and this, just like the camera that I have at the store has an 18 to 200 millimeter lens. The one for the store camera has a motorized 18 to 200 millimeter lens, the CELP 18-200. This one, it's the Sony A5100, is coming with the Cell 18-200. This is also an 18 to 200 millimeter lens, but this camera does not have a motorized lens. So both of these are cameras that have some sentimental value to me. So, but one of the things I'm realizing as I clean out my old store is I'm a hoarder. I have BlackBerry Bold 9000 screens at my store from back when I used to fix BlackBerry Bold 9000s, and I have not gotten rid of them. And I really do need to start cleaning shit up. So these are some links for some crap that I have for sale. So if you want to bid on my original camera, here you go. You have to log in to make a bid. However, because I know people are not going to want to sign up for my fucking website, if you have a Gmail account or a Google account, you can also log in using OAuth. Yeah, here you go. You can log in with Google instead of actually registering with me if that makes it less of a pain in the ass. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. It'll be fun to show up to some of these town halls, and I hope to meet more people. That's it for today, and I really hope to meet some more people like that gentleman from East Colfax, because those are once-in-a-lifetime experiences, and it was really great to capture it on camera. See you in the next video. Bye now. You want to come with me, Blackberry? Hi. Who's my girl? Oh, that's a good kitty. Yeah, we're going to have you in 4K, Blackberry. You're not going to be on the potato cam anymore. You're going to be a 4K kitty. You know the fucked up thing about getting a better camera that I didn't think of, but really does have to be considered? This is why you should buy better cameras when you're young, even if you don't have the money for it, or you're a cheapskate like me, is as you get older, you have more money so you can buy the camera, but as you get older, you also look older. So when you're older and you can buy a better camera, because technology has gotten better and also you have more money, you can get a camera that accurately shows your age. So when you look back at my YouTube history, if I get a better one, you're also going to see this point where it's like, oh my God, he aged 20 years. And it's like, no, I'm just not using a camera that has a fucking VCR switch on it anymore. That it. You're a good kitty. You're a good berry. How much fur is on you? Jesus. You already killed the robot vacuum, Blackberry. You don't need to shed anymore. You killed it. It's dead.